Imagine being so poor that your only childhood dress was made out of potato sacks. Imagine growing up in a world that told you, "You're not good enough, you'll never make it." And then, imagine rising to become one of the most powerful women in the world. This is not a fairy tale. It's the real story of Oprah Winfrey. And it proves one thing: no amount of pain can stop someone determined to rise. Oprah's childhood was marked by challenges most of us can hardly imagine. She was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi to a teenage single mother who worked as a maid. They lived in extreme poverty, in a time and place still deeply scarred by segregation and inequality. As a little girl, she often didn't have proper clothes. Instead, her grandmother fashioned dresses for her out of potato sacks, garments that made her a target of ridicule from other children. While other kids had toys and stability, Oprah had hardship and uncertainty. Yet even in those early years, seeds of greatness were planted. Her grandmother taught her to read before she was 3 years old. The church became her first stage. She would stand before the congregation, reciting verses with such passion that people said she had a gift. But alongside these glimpses of light, darkness surrounded her. Oprah's youth was filled with abuse, rejection, and instability. By the age of 14, after enduring trauma at the hands of people who were supposed to protect her, she ran away from home. At just 14, she also became pregnant. The baby was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. Many people would have been broken by such a beginning. But Oprah was different. Even in the darkest chapters of her life, she held on to a belief that she was meant for more. She read books, practiced speaking, and nurtured a dream bigger than her surroundings. Many would have been broken completely by this series of tragedies, but Oprah refused to let her pain define her. She once said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." That is exactly what she did. Instead of surrendering to despair, she found refuge in books. She devoured literature, immersing herself in worlds far bigger than her own. She has said that reading was her window to a different life, her way of imagining a future beyond poverty. Books became her escape and her education. In high school, her gift became undeniable. She was a strong student, and her powerful speaking voice stood out. She entered oratory contests, won awards, and earned recognition that opened new doors. She won a scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied communications. For the first time, the world seemed to acknowledge what Oprah had always known deep inside. She was destined for more. Oprah's natural talent landed her jobs in radio and television while she was still in college. She became the youngest news anchor at a local station, and one of the very few black women in such a role at that time. But success didn't come without setbacks. Early in her career, she was fired from her anchor job. Her bosses told her she was unfit for television. Imagine working so hard to escape poverty, finally making it into a newsroom, and then being told you simply weren't good enough. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But for Oprah, rejection became redirection. Instead of letting the label define her, she used it as fuel. She realized she wasn't meant to be a traditional news anchor. Her strength wasn't in reading headlines, it was in connecting with people, telling their stories, and showing empathy. That discovery changed everything. In the early 1980s, Oprah was given a chance to host a struggling morning talk show in Chicago called AM Chicago. Within months, the ratings skyrocketed. Why? Because Oprah didn't pretend to be the polished, distant kind of host that television executives thought audiences wanted. She leaned into her authenticity. She laughed freely, cried openly, and connected with her guests and audience in a deeply human way. Her true breakthrough came when she was offered the chance to host a local talk show. But here's where Oprah's magic revealed itself. She didn't try to be the polished, distant host everyone expected. Instead, she leaned into her authenticity. She laughed, cried, and connected with her audience on a deeply human level. Viewers didn't just watch Oprah, they felt Oprah. She gave people a voice, a place to be heard, and a reason to believe in themselves. Ratings soared. Her show soon became the highest-rated talk show in America. But Oprah wasn't done. She built her own production company, Harpo Studios. She launched O, the Oprah magazine, created her own television network, and became a billionaire philanthropist. She went from potato sacks to boardrooms, from poverty to global influence, and along the way, she helped millions of others rise with her. By 1986, The Oprah Winfrey Show was launched nationally. It went on to become the highest-rated talk show in American history, running for 25 years and reaching tens of millions of viewers around the world. But Oprah was not satisfied with just being a host. She wanted control of her own narrative. She founded Harpo Productions, her own media company, making her one of the first women, and certainly one of the first African-American women, to own a major production company. This was revolutionary. Instead of being just a face on screen, she became the boss behind the scenes. Through Harpo, she produced her show, films like The Color Purple, for which she earned an Academy Award nomination, and many other projects. Her empire grew. She launched the Oprah magazine, one of the most successful magazines of its time. She started the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN. She created Oprah's Book Club, which could turn unknown books into global bestsellers overnight. And then there was her philanthropy. Oprah has donated hundreds of millions of dollars to education, including establishing the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. She has given countless scholarships, supported schools, and inspired millions to give back. Her influence reached politics too. In 2008, her endorsement of Barack Obama was credited with bringing significant momentum to his presidential campaign. And in 2013, she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Obama himself. From potato sack dresses to billionaire boardrooms, Oprah didn't just climb the ladder, she built her own. To understand Oprah's impact, consider the so-called Oprah effect. Products she endorsed would sell out overnight. Books she recommended would instantly hit the bestseller list. Her interviews became cultural landmarks, from sitting down with Michael Jackson to her emotional talk with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. But more than her power to shape culture, her true impact was personal. She helped people believe in themselves. She gave her audience permission to embrace vulnerability, to chase dreams, to heal from trauma. She once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." Millions of people around the world took that advice seriously, because Oprah showed them it was possible. Oprah's story carries lessons we can all use. Resilience. Your beginnings don't define your endings. Poverty, rejection, and pain are not final chapters. Authenticity. In a world full of imitation, being yourself is the greatest power you have. Turning pain into purpose. Instead of hiding her wounds, Oprah transformed them into wisdom, showing others they were not alone, lifting others as you rise. True success is not just about personal wealth, but about how many people you help along the way. Vision and consistency. Oprah didn't succeed overnight. She nurtured a long-term vision, showed up every day, and built her empire step by step. Oprah's story is proof that your past does not decide your future. Poverty doesn't have to chain you. Rejection doesn't have to end you. Pain doesn't have to define you. When life tells you you're not good enough, remember Oprah. Remember the girl in potato sack dresses who became the woman in billionaire boardrooms. She rose through resilience. She rose through authenticity. She rose through belief. And so can you. No matter where you are today, your story isn't finished. Your abundance is waiting. Step into your power and claim it. Because the world does not remember you for where you started. It remembers you for how far you dared to go. And if Oprah could transform her life from poverty to power, then why not you? Your struggles may feel heavy, but they are also shaping your strength. Your failures may sting, but they are carving the path to your success. So the question is not whether you can rise. The real question is, when will you decide to?